in high definition. You're watching WTOC TV, the Southeast News Leader.
A terrifying scene tonight on Interstate 16. Officers rushing to help one of their own after a serious situation. Good evening. In the news tonight, we are still following that breaking news. Crime scenes in a couple of places.
Interstate I16 westbound shutdown after an incident involving officers and suspects. We are hearing reports that 2 people were shot, one of them a police officer, but police will not confirm or deny it. We were there when the whole thing started unfolding. Officers pulling over onto the shoulder, ducking behind cars, reaching into their trunks moments after a police car went off the road and into the woods. Then paramedics put one injured officer in an ambulance.
Now take a look at our traffic system. The incident shut down westbound Interstate 16. That's the purple you're seeing, slowing down eastbound lanes. Police rerouting traffic through the evening as investigators sort out the scene and what happened.
We have team coverage tonight. Our Linda Figueredo is out there on I-16 near Chatham Parkway, and our Don Lagana is down on West 42nd Street and Burroughs, where this all started. We'll get to him in just a few moments.
And we start with Linda on the interstate through the evening tonight.
Linda, that road is still shut down?
That's right. Nearly 5 hours after that high-speed chase that we're being told about that ended right behind me, this portion of I-16 is still closed again between Chatham Parkway and 516. They do have a command post on site right behind me, and you can see along the wood line, that is where one of the vehicles was crashed along the wood line, and a second as well, Savannah Chatham Metro Police car as well in the ditch right here. They are using a light from a Savannah fire truck to light the scene as they're still gathering evidence at this time. We're also seeing some numbers, possibly where the bullet shells may be from a possible shooting, as we're hearing from various sources again that possibly an officer shot as well as the suspect. We do have that video of the officer being transported away from the scene with a neck brace on. We also saw her right pant leg was cut off, and as well as we see her badge on her right shoulder, and we had that video slowed down. And so you can see a little bit more of this process. We did not get video of the suspect. Still trying to gather information at this time. Police releasing barely anything, but I did have a chance to speak to Julian Miller, who somewhat discussed the fact that he had a chance to see the surveillance video from the patrol cars, and says once you see this, you will see how quickly things can change. And certainly you can see that we are being told that these 2 scenes where Lagana is going to be taking us in a second are related, in that chase ending right here, and possibly the suspect taking a patrol car and leading those police on that high-speed chase. But these are all details that we're still trying to work out and get confirmed at this hour.
Yeah, the good news at this point, as you pointed out in that ambulance video, there is no sense of real urgency to get that officer to the hospital. Nobody doing CPR, none of that other thing that you would see normally when somebody is very seriously injured. Hopefully, for the best, the injuries will turn out relatively minor for her. We'll keep our fingers crossed.
Yeah, and hopefully recovering very quickly, and as well hope to get more information about the suspect and what condition he or she may be in as well.
All right, thanks a lot, Linda. Well, as we told you, we were there as the whole thing started happening on the interstate.
Connie Cooper on 16 as the story unfolded just before sunset tonight. She was in the middle of it all and is still out on the interstate, joining us live from the highway right now.
Well, you know, Connie was actually out there in the traffic, in the flow of it, and many of those cars, Connie, actually kind of went past you. You didn't really realize what was going on as it was unfolding, did you?
No, I was just on my way back from a story. I was on I-16 West, and I had 3 cars pass me. They were going very fast, 3 police cars in the left lane. The oddest thing about it was the first one didn't have any lights on. So the first thing I did was pull over. And when I did, I saw several officers jumping out of their car. They were running. They were putting on safety vests. All I had near me was my iPad, so I just grabbed it and ducked down behind the car. Officers arrived so quickly, dozens of them, shutting down the interstate within moments. I think my car was probably one of the last ones that was allowed through. finally, Captain Ramey was kind enough to come over and help me back a little bit from the scene, but certainly nothing that I had ever expected that I was going to be encountering on my way home from a story. I suppose it was just one of those things of being in the wrong place at the right time. I did know several of the officers there at the scene, but none of them could tell me anything about what happened. And I kept overhearing something about a robbery. I kept overhearing something about another scene. But as to details, officers were completely tight-lipped, just kind of trying to piece it all together themselves.
At that point, they had a lot of important work to do, and especially that time of day, too. The height of rush hour, so much traffic out there, and then one of their own hurt. They had to make sure that she was okay and what was going to happen next.
And I mean, it's amazing to see them in action up close like that. They are so professional and so quick. It was quite an experience to see them do their jobs.
All right, thanks a lot, Connie. Glad that no one else got hurt. Thank you.
Obviously, you still want to avoid that area, even now, hours later.
Jonathan Burton is just back from the scene and joins us now in the WTOC 24-hour newsroom.
All right, Jonathan, you've been through all of that. How are the detours going?
Dawn and Mike, traffic was pretty heavy out there. I saw a lot of folks stuck in traffic because of the crash, but things are looking a little better out there. Take a look at this video right here that I shot a little earlier. This one place right here is where police are detouring folks. Right here is at exit 164A and 164B, Lynn's Parkway exit. Things are a lot calmer around that area right now, as you can see, but I-16 westbound is still closed from 516 to Chatham Parkway. The eastbound lane is open, but traffic is moving kind of slowly. And as I said out there right now, you do want to avoid that area if you can. Right now, there's no word as to when the westbound lane will be back open, but like I said, you do want to avoid that area.
No question about it. It seems like all of 16 could be tied up for quite a bit of time, maybe even until the morning rush. Thanks a lot, Jonathan.
Now, let's move from the crash on Interstate 16 to go where it's believed it all started at 42nd and Burroughs Streets. Our Don Lagana is there.
All right, Don, what are you seeing? You've been out there for a couple of hours now right there in the neighborhood.
It was just around 6:30, 6:36. The calls came in down here at 42nd and Burroughs. You can see the crime tape, scene tape is all gone now. And the people here have been talking for hours about what happened. And we've been talking to people trying to figure out what exactly did happen. A lot of different information coming into us as we've been trying to piece together the details. We have heard that there was a robbery, a car robbery. A car here was a Chevy Malibu that was in this area, was parked here. It was inside that crime scene tape, and it was removed a little while ago. We were told that a car chase did take place. Possibly a sergeant's vehicle was stolen, and that led to that chase up 16 to Chatham Parkway. And at that point, we were told that a suspect was shot multiple times. He was taken to the hospital, and we're told right now he's in critical condition. And we also heard that a female officer was also shot. And I'm told at this time she had a leg wound and she is in stable condition. Those are the things we know at this point, but they are not confirmed by Savannah Chatham Metro Police. And the reason it's not confirmed is we're told by Julian Miller, the public information officer, is they want to make sure they have all their T's crossed, their I's dotted. They want to make sure every piece of information is absolutely correct when they release it, and they make sure that they have this report absolutely perfect tomorrow morning when they release it to the media.
All right, thanks a lot, Don.
Well, here is the bottom line on what we know so far. Interstate 16 westbound is still closed. You're looking at a WTOC mobile sky cam shot. Now, 2 Metro Police cars went off the highway. One wound up in the trees, another in the ditch. Seconds later, the officers flooding the scene. Several sources say a police officer and another person shot in the incident, but Metro is not confirming or denying that. They do confirm another crime scene at 42nd and Burroughs is connected to this case. Now, the story is changing every few minutes, and of course, we will bring you updates right here as soon as we get them.
Well, here is another big story we've been following all day long. We have an update for you. Shipyard Road has finally reopened after a gas leak shut it down. It all happened around 3:30 this afternoon. Emergency workers evacuated more than 20 homes in the area. Police say someone hit a major gas line with a backhoe. The road closed for 6 hours and finally reopened around 9:30 tonight.
A few things going on tonight, no question about it. We got you covered. Well, our windy weather turning very dangerous. In a few minutes, the destructive storm that shocked a small community.
But first, we're going to check in with our First Alert meteorologist, Pat Prokop.
And all things are quiet throughout the evening hours now. Our live Doppler Max 11 radar showing no precipitation across the area. It's the temperatures we're watching now as the winds abate. Those temperatures are falling down into the lower 40s. It looks like we're going to be dropping into the lower 30s by daybreak tomorrow, but the winds are less than 10 miles an hour. I'll be back with your First Alert Doppler Max forecast coming up shortly.
Breaking news on Interstate 16, the westbound lanes still closed.
Our Linda Figueredo is there. We want to check back in with her to get the very latest.
Well, right now, as you see behind me, they are starting to the process of moving those two Savannah-Chatham Metro Police cars that were involved in this incident. One in the wood line that was crashed there, and the second was right here on the side of the road, right near where those numbers are, possibly where the bullet shells are. Police releasing very few details about this incident. We do know that a female officer possibly was shot, transported from this area, as well as the suspect possibly suffering some gunshot wounds. We're still trying to confirm all those details at this time. We are hearing from various sources, yet not confirmed as well, that this possibly started as a chase that started on 42nd and Burroughs. A Chevy Malibu is being looked at that point, and possibly the suspect stealing the vehicle and traveling here and ending right here behind us on I16. Now, we're told that this area may open within the next 2 hours. As you see there, they're beginning the process of wrapping up their investigation on this portion, and hopefully that roadway will be back open to you. Of course, just stay with us, and we'll continue to bring you the latest right here from the scene. Don, Mike?
All right, thanks a lot, Linda.
We're going to get to Rick for sports tonight.
We have big basketball games all around the country. In college basketball, Georgia Tech trying to play a spoiler tonight. The Yellow Jackets were trying to keep Miami from clinching the ACC title, but could they do it? We'll show you what happened next.
Family and tradition are the foundation of Savannah's St. Patrick's Day Parade.
It's St. Patrick's Day in Savannah. All the boys are on parade.
2013 Grand Marshal Jimmy Ray honored his dad, Charlie Ray, today with the support of members of the St. Patrick's Day Committee, the St. Vincent's Academy Chorale, and his family, who gathered to pay tribute. Charlie Ray was the Grand Marshal of the 1989 parade and a beloved fixture in the Irish community who passed away in 2006. Parade Grand Marshals Harry Deal and Tim Ansley started this tradition.
Nice tradition. Now, we wanted to bring you an update on breaking news. This is a live mobile Skycam look at Interstate 16, where 2 Metro police cars are off the road. We hear, unconfirmed, that 1 Metro police officer was shot and wounded. Another in a case where someone may have stolen a Metro squad car. Ended up in a chase out on 16.
Right now, let's look at our traffic map, and we have some updates. That purple means that things are still at a standstill there on I-16.
It means the road's closed.
Still closed, okay. And we're hearing from Linda Figueredo, who just called in, that that could be the case for at least 2 more hours. Avoid I-16 if you can. Pat, what about the weather?
Well, the weather is going to be looking like we're going to see some sunshine, but chilly temperatures, 33 degrees in the morning, but in the low 60s tomorrow and Friday, then mid-60s Saturday, and 70 Sunday.
Sounds great. Thanks a lot.
And thank you for joining us tonight.
Good night.